morning, members of the Peralta System and friends. Welcome to today's discussion. We'll dive into the most pressing political issues of our time. Each speaker here has a message to share. They're not just topics to debate, but they are realities that shape our communities, our country, our lives. It's about understanding, action, and finding out the truth. The first step in fighting for what is right is understanding, because knowledge is power, and action is force.
Hello everybody, my name is Tim, and I'm the Vice President of the Speech and Leadership Club. And I would also like to introduce Your Majesty. She just spoke earlier. She's the President of the Speech and Leadership Club. And also, please welcome Mary, the co-vice president of the Speech and Leadership Club. And also please stand the advisor of the club, Professor Mariella Fanning. Okay, and also I want to welcome the president of the Peralta district, although he's not here yet, but probably he'll show up here very soon. And also I want to welcome all of the colleges of the Peralta district, including Laney College, College of Alameda, Berkeley City College, Merritt College, and we also have some representatives from UC Berkeley College, UC Berkeley University, who will be participating here with us today. Okay, now let's come straight to the. Now let's come straight to the main course of the event, the speeches. First, I would like to welcome Justin, the Secretary of Speech and Leadership Club, a student who majored in history. He will be talking about lower than empathy. Please welcome Justin.
Hello everyone. Aloha, aloha indeed. I want to thank everyone for being here, and to everyone that can make this event possible. Also, a special thank you to the Laney staff and administration. Thank you to the Laney staff and administration. Oh, thank you. Yes. All right. All right. Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Turn that to defensive mode. All right. A special thank you to the Laney staff and administration for their continued hard work and support. Closer to the microphone. All right. Close to the microphone. How about that?
Okay, welcome to the evening.
Huh? Not yet. No.
I'm here to tell you that love is the cornerstone of every society. Like Cleopatra and Mark Antony, love will go the distance, even against political standards. Loving your neighbor made the French help out the new country of America to stand up against the British to gain their independence. Love is also patient and kind, even when your wife wants you to get her a snack when you just sat down. It was Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. that said, hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Loving your neighbor will be the antidote to today's poison of hate that has infected so many Americans. If you love your neighbor, you want them to be happy and get the care that they need without causing financial hardship or regret. You want them to have the choice to seek help and decide who they want to be. You may not always agree with your neighbor, but loving them despite the differences takes a great deal of understanding and empathy. Love can go the distance, unfaltered in times that appear dim and hopeless. Lastly, I would like everyone to look at the person standing next to you or sitting next to you and know that loving them is the best thing that you can do for them. Love can go the distance. Thank you, everyone. Woo! Go, ladies!
Thank you, Justin. What a beautiful thing to speak of in a day like today. Because love is more important than anything else. Don't you agree? All right, so with our next speaker, we present Charles with a major in economics. He's going to speak to us about tariffs.
Hello everyone, how are y'all doing today?
That's great. All right, so today I want to talk to you all about the thing that's been all over the news, tariffs. You've all heard, right? Any of you heard about tariffs?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, that's great. So basically, tariffs are taxes we put on things we buy from other countries, basically. So for example, like wood from Canada and like avocados and corn from Mexico and all those things that are manufactured in China because it's cheaper there. Like all those made in China little labels. So tariffs can help the economy by encouraging businesses to buy from American manufacturers. And in theory, this should create more jobs to offset like higher prices or whatever by encouraging American manufacturers to expand to accommodate increasing demand since you can only since it's cheaper now to buy to pay American manufacturers to build stuff for you, right? And tariffs can also help countries' national security. Like if you're relying on another country for, say, military weapons or whatever, and if that country doesn't support you anymore, or if you're at war with the other country, they won't give you microchips or whatever, which are necessary for missile production, computers, cars, basically almost all the technology we use for today. So that's pretty bad. So that's stuff you don't want to outsource to another country. However, tariffs, as explained by the Peterson Institute for Economics, can also be a pretty bad thing because they usually increase the prices because we usually outsource to other countries because it's cheaper, but if you're forced to do it here, it's a little more expensive because cost of living and everything, right? You have to pay your workers a higher wage. And because tariffs also affect businesses that sell to other countries due to retaliation, other countries who get tariffs on their products are probably going to retaliate as well. So that screws over businesses that sells to other countries. And because even American manufacturers have to buy materials, right? Sometimes you have to buy from other countries, and if there's a tariff, you have to pay a higher cost to buy materials to build stuff, right? And because there's a higher cost to build stuff, you're either going to have to, you're usually faced with two choices if there's not enough demand to buy from American manufacturers, which is to increase the price of your own products to offset the cost of the higher cost to buy materials, or you're going to have to start cutting costs, which may lead to job losses as you're going to cut jobs down to save as much money as you can. And in conclusion, I just want to say that I personally don't think tariffs are that great, and I just wanted to talk to you about my ideas and what I know about tariffs. Thank you for listening.
So those are very useful information on tariffs that Charles brought to us. Please welcome the next speaker, Salam, a business management major student, and she will be talking about a very hot topic nowadays, deportation. Please welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Salam. I'm part of the speech club, business director, and also I major in business management. Today I want to talk about immigration, that going on, and separation that affects so many people. And they're in a family apart, starving lives, many are going to have lives. For years, contribution to our economy and community. Yes, strict immigration policy forced them to leave their family behind. Children, businesses, our entire community are suffering their separation instead of massive deportation. We need fair immigration and recognizing and the contribution of immigrants. America stands for the opportunities and compassion. Let's build a system that respects those values. We could do better. We all could do better. Let's help the other people that affecting, like students. We can help them. We can help them find the resources, like student immigrant, like we have by administrative office. So, and also they can come to the club speech so we can help the resources. Thank you.
The subject of immigration is pretty heated right now, especially with Donald Trump overpassing Congress and abusing of executive position on taking the birthright of citizens. Our next speaker, his name is Noah, and is a full-time student and a nature lover.
Hello everyone, thank you for being here. To be successful at anything, you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. Tom Brady. Tom Brady was the quarterback for the New England Patriots. Most people feel discouraged when they see a very successful person. A successful person is an ordinary person. You can be a successful person. An ordinary person can make their dreams reality by embracing struggle, having persistence, and demonstrating willpower. First, embracing struggle is a major key to make your dreams reality. Without the struggle, there is no growth. If one is struggling, that is a sign of weakness leaving the body. Imagine if a baby was born a doctor, an athlete, or a president. There is no such thing. Growth comes from struggling. Secondly, to make your dreams become reality, one must have persistence. When life begins to get hard, and that is when you should hold on to your dreams firmly. Imagine your dream is a basket of eggs. You want to focus on not dropping the basket, or else you'll have a mess. Be patient and persist through the struggle. Finally, be ready to demonstrate willpower. Nothing is simply handed to you. One has to fight for their dreams. When you feel like you're done, find enough energy to push you even further. Willpower will help you accomplish your dreams even by a scratch. In summary, to make your dreams become reality, one must embrace struggle, have persistence, and demonstrate willpower. Remember to enjoy the process of achieving your dreams. Thank you for listening.
That was a very good presentation, very good speech about chasing your dream. Thank you so much. And also, before coming to the next speaker, I would like to introduce a representative of the queer community. He will come up here and have some words with us. Please welcome.
Hey, how's it going? So, my name is E. So it spells Y-I-H, but Y is not pronounced. I-H is not pronounced. So it's pronounced like the letter E. Very simple to remember. So I oversee the Queer Community Center here in the Student Center, one floor up on the left. I'm not a part of this community or this club, but I'm a good friend of your dear professor. Oftentimes people, but I love to say a few words. Oftentimes people come to me and ask me, what is queer? Right. People oftentimes think that queer stands for an umbrella term for the LGBTQ plus QI plus, right? But I always tell people that queer is much bigger than that. Queer takes beyond the scope of sexuality and gender and sex, right? So we all sitting here somehow that we identify a little bit different from the mainstream narrative, the mainstream identity. That's what queer is for. And I'm not gonna speak that long, but we have a beautiful space here on campus to support you all. We have a lot of resources and services. Like we partner with other off-campus centers and resource centers and to bring you more services like legal name change. Like if you have any legal concern, you can also come to me, and I have connected with different attorneys and lawyers and like law students to work for the rights of our students. And we also have a testing site on the 5th floor. We offer STI and HIV testing here on campus. Not many people know about this, but we do have that kind of services. And also as QCC, that we do programmings. We have a writing competition that's ongoing. So the prompt is what do you like about being queer? So we offer resources, swags, and prizes for the winners. And please stop by our place and we will welcome you. Thank you.
He will be offering that at the Student Center 300. Our next speaker is my classmate, a role model of mine, and a good friend, Tatiana. Please welcome to the stage. She will be talking to us about unity and affirmation. Tatiana.
No, you're up. You're up. One viewer, my friend.
Hi, Lainey. How you guys doing today?
Good.
Thank you for having me. Unity is a divine right. Today, unity is a divine right. A right for our family to be heard and to be seen. To tell you. Take that microphone. To tell a story. To tell this story today, I want us to speak to our toddlers.
You're doing good.
To tell the story today, I want us to speak to our toddlers in a way that acknowledges our fragile. I'm sorry. We come here to overcome and show ourselves unity. Yet most little children, without knowing, natural share with an honest heart, toys, food, and anything else. No one is left behind. There is a mother overseas who got separated from her husband. There are 2 children in her arms. One was an infant, the other was 18 months old. The world has been told that the mother had passed away, and they were not sure where the children are. The bodies of them went missing. This story brings me to tell you. Today, I'm sorry. Okay. What it is basically unity. Unity is us coming together, standing together, being one with each other. My story was a young lady. Her family was killed, her overseas, and the United States was being kind to ship them back, and they misplaced the bodies of a mother and her 2 children. The husband was waiting for her, for the kids, and they did not send the proper bodies back to them. I feel like at this time, the situation where I've been in a situation where I was separated as well, from family, kids, fathers, and everything. Okay, unity for me would be us standing together, being one. Unity is us coming together, loving our neighbor, and understanding each other. Unity is you being thoughtful, loving, kind.
Now we're gonna have a little performance of the one, Mariela Tanning, with the song Te quiero, quiero que estés conmigo. Give it up. Woo!
Well, this song comes from my country, Peru. I want you to be with me. Quiero que estés conmigo cuando llegue el silencio, cuando me encuentres sola. Quiero que estés conmigo cuando no hayan aplausos, cuando no hayan amigos, cuando llegue el ocaso. Quiero que estés conmigo. Compartiremos juntos lo mucho que nos queda. Hoy tengo para darte cariño una vida nueva. Mira, cuando llegue ese momento, no habrá pena ni tristeza, no habrá envidia ni rencores. Solo sé que mis amores siempre fueron para ti. Quiero que estés conmigo, mi amor, siempre conmigo. Cuando llegue el silencio, mi amor, siempre conmigo. Cuando no hayan aplausos, mi amor, siempre conmigo. Well, we're gonna ask you to dance a little bit. Bring in the spirit from Cuba. Se ha formado la corredera, luego las gallinas se ha formado la corredera. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Allá fueron los bomberos con sus campanas, sus sirenas. Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? Ay, mamá, ¿qué pasó? ¡El zapadito! tengo yo candela, me quedo dormida y no apagó la vela, que vengan los bomberos a apagar el fuego, esta negra brava, hoy tengo candela, ¡vamos! El cuarto de Tula, tengo yo candela, me quedo dormida y no apagó la vela, el cuarto de Tula, tengo yo candela, me quedo dormida y no apagó la vela, que vengan los bomberos a apagar el fuego, esa negra guapa, olvidó candela, el cuarto de Tula, tengo yo candela, me quedo dormida y no apagó la vela, el cuarto de Tula, tengo yo candela, me quedo dormida y no. ¿Qué pasó? Apagó la vela. Muchas gracias, muchas gracias. Okay, we're gonna go back to the speeches. Ay, qué caliente, Misty. That was amazing, right? You have no idea. I'm a big fan of you. Our next speaker is Vice President of the Speech Club.
No.
Oh, it's Ray? Okay. Well, now you can be the president of the Speech Club. Ray is going to be speaking to us about biology. Oh, no, that's your way. Sorry. I got excited with that song. All right, Ray, thank you. She's going to be talking to us about learning. Because learning is what? Fundamental.
Fear.
Imagine for a moment some of your biggest fears.
Once it's over.
Can you imagine just standing on a stage alone?
Just pull out.
No, that's fine. All right. All right, can you guys imagine just for a second? Just imagine being on stage all alone and you have a speech or you have to entertain like a whole audience for a certain amount of time. Now imagine you forgot all of your lines or you don't even know what you gotta say. You forgot everything. Imagine that feeling. I don't know if you felt that before, but imagine your palms getting sweaty, you're getting lightheaded, everything starts to spin, and you don't know what to do. You can't remember anything. You're just freezing up on stage. And that happens to me pretty much a lot. Like, you know, I've been on stage before and in a play, and I've dropped a line, and I froze, and I almost passed out because I wasn't breathing. When you lock your knees, you're preventing oxygen from going up to your brain. But yeah, fear. Can I get a show of hands of who felt fear before? It should be everybody. But yeah, for most of us, you know, fear is probably, in speaking in front of an audience, is probably one of the biggest fears that anybody can have. An article in a magazine, in the Science News magazine, fear not. Scientists are learning how people can unlearn fear. In the article written by John Travis. John Travis wrote an article in the Science News magazine, where he talks about how psychology and neuroscience has been progressing in the whole concept of fear. And there's a lot of things that we could do, one of which is consciously revisiting the memories or stimuli that trigger them. So a lot of things, I'll be revisiting this memory. Thank you. But yeah, revisiting your traumas and your bad memories is a form of exposure therapy. And Travis points out that David Barlow, director of Boston University's Center of Anxiety and Related Disorders, says that 90% of people with phobias are capable of curing themselves with this type of exposure therapy. We also talk in the article. It also talks about the Pavlov experiment, where you get a dog to salivate by the ringing of a bell. We can use those. Scientists are using the Pavlov experiment as a reference, as another method of getting rid of our fears, or they call it fear extinction. And we can cover our fears with new memories that get stored in the frontal cortex of our brain, which has all the right traits to inhibit fear in the amygdala region of our brain, which is responsible for your flight or fight response, or it holds all your fears there. But our fear is beautiful because it's natural to us as human beings, and it's literally designed for us to protect ourselves and to essentially stay alive. The same kind of memories associated with survival somehow ended up getting formed with experiences and events that, for the most part, have no effect on our survival. And it seems clear to me that most of what scares us actually means no harm. So what will you do to overcome your fears? Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. It's nerve-wracking doing speeches in public, but long hair, don't care. All right, our next speaker, it was my classmate last semester. It is my classmate this semester and forever will be in my life, as one day I will take his last name. His name is Tim, he's the vice president, and he's gonna talk to us about Trump's policy affecting US zombies.
Economy.
It's economy, people. Not zombies. So, hello guys. How have your daily routine expenditure been? Especially under the Trump administration. Are you guys struggling with having to buy a dozen of eggs for $10? Anybody? I believe a lot of people, right? So we all see that this administration is affecting us in various ways. And why did I say that? So let's talk about it today. First of all, I would like to talk about tariffs. So he announced that the US will impose tariffs, a significant percentage of tariffs on our allies, making this one of the craziest moves ever, as this will increase the prices that businesses and consumers in the US have to pay for imported products. Moreover, according to AP News, this will also invite retaliation on the US, which will worsen the situation and start a trade war. This is forecasted to cause a slowdown and deficits on the economic growth. Secondly, we come to tax on the people. Trump's administration has mentioned that they're bringing back the 2017 Tax Cuts and Job Act. which brings back deduction for state and local taxes. And he also proposed that he will cut taxes on tips. However, that was only his claim. We'll still need time to verify this in the long term. Thirdly, the most important issue that I want to talk to today, a mass workforce reduction. Under his administration, a lot of federal employees have lost their jobs. According to USA Today, a newspaper and broadcast company, they stated that the number of employees being laid off is projected to surpass 100,000 employees. A massive number, right, people? This is a very sad scenario, as many people are the main income for their families. By doing this means cutting their income, which means they won't be able to afford groceries, they can't take care of their families, their kids. This is pure cruel. This will lead to other social conflicts such as increasing criminal rates, homelessness, and other social issues that will directly harm America. And I can relate to this, as the district right now is having a wide budget cut, and that is the reason I wasn't hired, although they have shown their interest in me for working here. When I received this information, that was such a slap into my face. I mean, being an international student means that our working time and benefits have been restricted. But with this fund cut, the situation is even worsened. I lost the chance to gain a working experience, to earn my first ever income in America. And I understand that a lot of people are feeling like me as well. The government should and must create more jobs and opportunities for everyone, regardless of their status, their race, age, and gender. Not trying to take away our livelihood with those nonsense fund cuts. That is the reason why we need to stand up for our rights, because we deserve an opportunity. In short, the good and bad sides of Trump's policies are still debatable. Different than what he promised previously, what we're now seeing are thousands of people losing their jobs. Millions are deported because they are labeled illegal. And now, even our long-term allies, like Canada, Mexico, and other European nations, are planning on a retaliation against us. So think clearly, people. Does this man deserve to be our president? Thank you so much for listening to my speech. Okay, next up, we have the next speaker, which is Zhang, and he will be speaking about class division. Please welcome Zhang.
They changed my position. They did. And he pulled up his damn. I was paying him at the.
Everyone, this is also my first time speaking.
Hold the microphone
Thank you so much.
by your mouth.
And the fear is real.
Hold the microphone.
As many of you may or may not know, I am a Canadian, Chinese Canadian, who's currently living in Oakland. I've been here for about 5 years, and my main thing here is I am an observer. I'm not really supposed to talk about my political ideas or stance. So I'm here as a friend, being Canadian, about the terrorists. My colleagues and my members from the clubs have already explained about the terrorists, so I'm not even going to bother you. I'll just say one thing. I live in the Bay Area for a while, and I've seen nothing but stark, different realities. I've walked past all these towering tech headquarters that shapes the world's future, and then you turn around, you see the disparities amongst entire communities that are struggling with homelessness and poverty. These contracts are not just statistics. These are even people. They all have their own experiences. They all share their own struggles, and least of all, they lost their dignity. And as one of my most favorite sociology, Matthew Desmond said, Without stable shelter, everything else falls apart. So that's what I believe in. His research on housing insecurities shows how poverty is not simply a lack of money, but a system condition that limits upward mobility. Nobody gets the chance to be able to move up to the big houses. But on the other hand, I also saw great, incredible acts of resilience and kindness amongst the people here in the Bay Area. I've seen people sharing their meals, I've seen strangers helping each other, communities like we are right now coming together and support each other's needs. These moments remind me that empathy, it still exists. And even in a system that often feels indifferent, I feel on my journey, at least here in the States, I have lived under different systems. I've seen the promises of failures of each other's and learned that real change doesn't come from choosing sides. And it comes from choosing humanity. And that's my speech for today. By the classes that's impacting us all, and that's the question I have for you. Thank you.
A mix of Chinese, a mix of Canadian, and a mix of talent. Thank you so much. People, don't forget, at the end of our speech, we have some pizza for you all. And with that said, I'm going to introduce you to our next speaker. Her name is Alma. She's going to speak to us about transgender rights. And for those ladies that voted for Donald Trump, do you really want to see your husbands in the men's bathroom with her?
No, I don't know what I'm going next.
Hi everyone. Does anyone remember playing when you were going out with those shape sorting boxes? Where you would put the shapes into the holes? Square on square, circle on circle, triangle on. This triangle is a little weird. It doesn't fit into any of the holes in the box. Does that mean the triangle is broken? Or maybe the box is wrong? That's the question transgender people have been forced to answer for generations. The Trump administration tried to answer it for us by declaring only two shapes exist, male and female, leaving no space for those of us who don't fit into the box. But let's make one thing clear. There has never been just two shapes, not biologically, not culturally. Throughout history, identities such as the Muxes of Mexico, the Hijras of South India, the Jariwami of Peru, prove that these are not new concepts. The gender binary is a colonial imposition, not a universal truth. Even at a biological level, sex is not as simple as XX and XY. According to the United Nations Human Rights, intersex people make up nearly 2% of the population. Nature itself doesn't follow rigid categories, so why should we? Yet despite all of this, the Trump administration tried to erase us. They cut funding, took away healthcare access, and emboldened discrimination. I lost my job because of this. This administration fears us because we challenge traditional gender roles. So we became the scapegoat for everything wrong with society. Our egg price is rising, blame transgender people. Women facing violence and abuse, blame trans people in the women's bathroom. It's all a facade, but maybe the real culprit is the 1% hoarding all the wealth and the orange man is convicted of sexual assault. When the government starts policing gender, those policies don't just harm trans people. It enforces a strict oppressive standard for everyone. Iman Khalid, Kelly Lamorden, Michelle Dion Peacock, those are cisgender women who were harassed and even killed because they were perceived as trans. Women with short hair, athletic builds, and particularly women of color who don't fit into a strict mold of femininity, which has been historically tied to whiteness, are also going to be targeted by transphobia. These shapes were never built for me or for many of you. So if you ask me, what is a woman? I would just say, it's a shape that cannot be defined, and it won't fit into any box. Thank you.
Thank you, Alma, for your speech. And please, next speaker, I would like to welcome Julian, the Multimedia Director of the Speech and Leadership Club. He will be bringing up a speech. Welcome, Julian.
Hello. Lately, I've been noticing something online. That when a person of marginalized identity posts themselves or saying really anything, could be innocuous, could be political, and I have the expectation that I'm going to see in their comments vile, hateful messages. And I ask myself, why? Why is this normal? Today I want to talk to you Today I want to talk to you about what hate speech does to our minds and how we can protect ourselves and our loved ones from its terrible effects. But first, let me tell you why this matters to me. I want to be a media major. That means I want to create videos and movies and take photos and share them online. And I can't do that freely if what I'm faced with is racism, simply from being a black man who had the audacity to create. And I said terrible effects before, but what did I mean? You might understand implicitly, but here's something concrete. In an experimental study conducted in Poland in 2023, their results suggested that immersion in a hateful environment leads to empathic numbing. People exposed to hate speech have limited ability to attribute the psychological perspective of others, regardless of their group membership. Meaning, the out-group, the group that's being hated on, or the haters, so the group that's certainly hated. My point is they're not just words, they have real physical consequences. Why talk about this now? It's true this has been a problem for a long time, but I see it more often than ever, and some reasons are clear. Algorithm-run social media promotes anything that boosts engagement, with no conscience. And the people running these companies have no conscience either. We see it in their bending to the knee to the right wing, by relinquishing fact-checking so their lies can flourish. Not to mention how the most powerful person in our country right now sets the example that you can say whatever you want with no consequences, like Haitian immigrants are eating cancer dogs, or that DEI is what the government is funding. Something else I want to touch on before going into some solutions is the idea that hate speech should be protected under the First Amendment. A study from the Annual Review of Political Science in 2019 discusses this debate, showing a number of good points from either side. I'm on the side that believes that your freedom ends when you begin hurting someone. When speech supports hate crimes, that speech should be punishable by law as well. There are other countries that already do this. But until that changes for us, it's our own personal responsibility to protect each other. Here are a few things that you can do. You may feel like you want to argue, but first you pause and think. Often arguing isn't the right thing to do, since people who speak this way may simply be doing it because they know it's wrong, and they just want to get a reaction. But what you want to do is make sure hate isn't the only speech out there. React with your voice of love and truth. If you see a lie, refute it with facts. So if someone less informed than you, but equally loving, happens across a bad message, they won't be fooled by it. Extend solidarity to people who are targets of hate speech in your daily life. That demonstrates that rejecting hate is the responsibility of every individual. Even consider joining an organization like ours, the Speech and Leadership Club, where you can be loud and loving and truthful. Don't accept their evil nonsense. Stand for your freedom and challenge the narrative. Thank you.
Thank you, Julian. That was gorgeous. Event director of the Speech Club and with a major in transfer studies, we have Sam speaking to us about censorship.
Hi, my name is Samuel. planning to transfer to UC Berkeley, so don't worry. So today I'm going to talk about censorship. So, can anybody guess what I said? All right. So that is what is happening right now in our schools and libraries. So our libraries and schools have been censored. In what way? Are you exaggerating? No, I'm not. According to the American Library Association report on challenge books, they quote, numbers released today show efforts to censor 4,240 unique book titles in schools and libraries. This tops the previous high from 2022, when 2,571 unique titles were targeted for censorship. And what are these books even about? Well, according to the same report, titles representing the voices and lived experiences of LGBTQIA+ and BPOC individuals made up 47% of those targeted censorship attempts. So basically, it is what the government keeps calling DEI or critical race theory things. Basically, the unique voices of many underrepresented communities. Books like The Hate You Give by Angie Dommins and The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison, both written by African American women addressing issues such as systemic racism, injustice, race, and beauty standards. Do you see any problem with exploring topics like this in the books? I don't. Children in our community must have access to these stories because they teach us about our community stories, history that we must not forget. We cannot let the voices and writings just vanish because somebody just felt uncomfortable on topics of race and gender. To some, these books are part of a dangerous agenda trying to divide our nations or to indoctrinate our children. Or just like President Trump said on his recent address to the Union, the poisoning of critical race theories coming into the schools. Do not let anybody stop you from educating yourself. Remember, education is a powerful tool, so embrace it and defend it. How, you may ask? Contact your representatives, make your voice heard, read banned books in order to show support. To see to yourself what is the content in these books and why they are so controversial. Speak up at school board or library school board meetings. Defend the freedom to read and to stand against censorship, because if we let people to just dictate and ban these books, essentially we are eliminating these different voices than what is the standard. So we are not going to let our voices to be shut down. These are voices trying to raise the perspectives of queer and BPOC authors. So push back against their demands and protect these stories. The stories shape our understanding of the world. Don't let censorship decide whose voices are heard. And stand up, speak up, and protect the right to read.
Yes! That was some powerful speech right there. Let's welcome our next speaker, and will be probably our last speaker as well, Mary, the co-vice president of the club. And she majored in early childhood education. She's a single mother, a student, and an immigrant. Please welcome. Go, Mary! Yes!
Okay, before I start, I just want to say thank you to, because I'm the last speaker, I want to thank all my speech club members for finishing it, because this is my third time, and it doesn't matter, I memorize it or not, even if I have the speech here in front of me, when I get nervous, I can't read anything. So I admire them for finishing it. So, love you, Mary. Thank you. Today, I want you to imagine sitting in class, trying to focus on your next exam, but in the back of your mind, you're wondering if your family is still gonna be here tomorrow. That's the reality of many undocumented students, living in constant uncertainty while trying to get an education. As an immigrant, a student, and a single mother, I understand the struggles balancing education with life's challenges. I've faced obstacles trying to navigate college, and I know firsthand how much a supportive community can make a difference. Empathy isn't just about recognizing someone's struggles. It's about taking action to make a difference. Research by Carola Suarez Orozco shows that when undocumented students feel supported by their peers and educators, their academic success and mental well-being improve significantly. So, how do we show support? Number 1, listen without judgment. If a classmate opens up about their struggles, listen. Don't ask them, why don't you just become a citizen? Such questions oversimplify complex situations. Instead, offer encouragement. Sometimes, knowing someone who cares makes a difference. Number 2, be mindful of language. Words matter. Referring to someone as illegal is not only inaccurate, but also dehumanizing. Many undocumented students lack access to resources like financial aid and driver's license. Recognizing these disparities helps us offer better support. And the last one, offer practical help. Small actions, sharing notes, forming study groups, or helping someone find resources can significantly impact someone facing challenges. Empathy involves awareness, kindness, and action. As someone who has faced significant challenges, I can attest that support from others can change one's path. By practicing small acts of understanding, we can make our campus a place where every student feels valued. So next time you meet someone facing these challenges, choose kindness. It might change their entire college experience. Thank you.
What a basket of joy and a bucket of energy. I love her. Thank you, Mary. People, we are coming towards the end. Politics is not something happening in the background of our lives. It's whether you like to engage on it or not, it's still going to impact you. Change has never come from waiting and has never come from silence. It has come from those who dare to question, who gain knowledge, and who take action. Stay informed, stay involved, speak up. Because the future isn't something that we inherit, it's something we build. Can I have an amen? Amen. And now, we're going to introduce our lovely professor with the song Gracias a la Vida. Feel free to stand up, and then we're going to gather these posters and take a photo for Lady College.
Thank you. We want to thank you for this moment. I also would like to say thank you to the President, Your Majesty, the team, the Vice President, everybody who organized this event. Please, let's say thank you to them. The great job that we're doing. This is leadership, my wonderful students. I'm honored to be your advisor. And I want you to get this paper. Everybody has this piece of paper? Yes? Okay. Great. This is one traditional song from South America. It was written by this political woman who gave her life for a movement. Her name was Parra, Violeta Parra from Chile. And it's about gratitude to our life. We're standing for unity. We're standing for love. We're standing for compassion. We're standing for freedom. So I want to invite any of you who would like to get any of these signs and stand in the back with the signs. Anyone who would like to get one of these signs, please come and just grab it and stand in the back, okay? We're going to celebrate love, unity, community beyond what's happening with this new narrative, okay? Whoever would like to come and approach and stand, that would be awesome. So if you look at the back, there is a translation of the song, Thanks to Life. So we're going to do it in Spanish, of course. I want you to know that Violeta Parra, a very important political figure in the history of South America, like many powerful women of color around the world and here in the United States, standing for love and unity, students, beyond gender, race, age, disability, doesn't matter. We're just one community. Okay, we're gonna really stand for freedom. Freedom is love, students, beyond all those things. If you ever can sing in Spanish, you can sing along with me, okay? Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio dos luceros que cuando los abro, perfecto distingo lo negro del blanco.
Oh, Stan.
En el alto cielo, su fondo estrellado, y en las multitudes, al hombre que yo amo. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado el sonido y el abecedario, con él las palabras que pienso y declaro, madre, amigo, hermano y luz alumbrando la ruta del alma del que estoy llamando. Que me ha dado tanto, todos. Desierto, montañas y llanos, y la casa tuya, tu calle, tu patio. ¡A esas palmas! Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me dio el corazón y agita su marco cuando miro el fruto del cerebro humano, cuando miro el bueno tan lejos del malo, cuando miro el fondo de tus ojos claros, todos. Gracias a la vida que me ha dado tanto, me ha dado la risa y me ha dado el llanto, así yo distingo dicha de quebranto, los dos manantiales que forman mi canto y el canto de ustedes que es el mismo canto. Y el canto de todos, que es mi propio canto. Gracias a la vida, gracias a la vida. Muchas gracias.
Now there's things I think they back and there's things
front for the new one. Woo! Let's go, people. Thank you so much for coming. We'll do it again soon. Stay tuned.
She crazy.